Hello y'all, it's Xavier Bronx Halo Fernandez. I got a new setup right now. I feel like I'm in the middle of a Zoom meeting. I don't know how long this is gonna stay for. I'm still trying to I know I want the camera up here, but I'm still trying to sort everything out. It probably gonna look better in the next video. Wait, this is on the frame, hold up. And not only that, yeah, obviously my computer screen's below the camera and you could see by the way my eyes are looking. And I feel like that's a little bit deceptive. I feel like a fraud with the fact that y'all can see me like that. But anyways, yeah, I know when I upload a video about not Nintendo for Wii Sports Wednesday, people get mad, but it's called Wii Sports Wednesday. The second word is sports. I'm talking about the NFL and that's a sport. So all right, y'all can see I got my Jeremy Shockey Giants jersey on. I tried to look for my Baltimore Ravens headband so I could have both of them, because if y'all didn't know, I'm a Giants and Ravens fan, or more specifically, I'm a Giants fan and my favorite player is Lamar Jackson, but it couldn't be possible today. So for today's video, I recently looked at a map of the NFL and this is just scattered all over the place. I mean, we looking at divisions. You gotta question why Indiana is playing with Jacksonville, Houston, and Tennessee, why Dallas is playing up there with Philly, NY, and DC, why Miami is playing with Boston and New York, why the three teams from Florida are all in different divisions. So I thought today we're gonna do a little bit of a realignment. This is how, if I was realigning the NFL divisions, this is how I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give it a very cool and spicy, fun, creative realignment, and y'all gonna see. So we're gonna two realignments. The first one is my fun, cool realignment with many factors going into it. And the second one is my actual one based on locations. Keep in mind for my second one, I did include division rivalries that already existed. I've tried to make sure to keep note of them too. What else? Some of the names for the division, I'm not gonna lie. I remember I saw a video in 2022 about these division realignments and I got some names for divisions here, but to be honest, I forgot. So first with the cool realignments, keep in mind, the AFC division is based off of states that the teams are located in or around. The NFC is based off of other miscellaneous factors. First, I have the AFC New York division. This includes all three teams located in the state of New York, even though the Giants and Jets don't play in New York. They're in New Jersey, but close enough. We got the Jets, Giants, and Bills all combined together. And then we added the New England Patriots too because they are close to New York. Also keeps most of the AFC East together, but it replaced the outlying Dolphins with the New York Giants. The Giants and the Jets being in the same division gives us great potential for a crosstown rivalry, along with the Bills being in the same state. Not only that, I keep having Buffalo Bills fans talk shit in my ear, talking about, oh, you're not a real New York team because you play in New Jersey. So that could get that shit settled. Most Jets fans I know don't really like the Giants anyways, so this could start some heat. I know the Patriots hate the Giants because we took 2 Super Bowls from them in 2008, 2012. And now that we are in the same division, the Patriots can hate on us even more. And we both suck ass today. So this division in total has 11 Super Bowls and 22 Super Bowl appearances. So next I have the AFC Pennsylvania/DMV. These are 2 states, but I put them into one division because they're close together. They'll be grouped to one and it's perfect. We get iconic rivalries. We get the AFC North rivalry of the Ravens and Steelers. They come back. That division rivalry will stay together. It will never be broke up. And the Eagles Commies rivalry from the NFC East is staying together too. A lot of people in the NFC East told me that their rivalry with the Commies don't feel like a real rivalry because the Commies sucked for all their lifetime, which me too. As a Giants fan, we used to own them. They used to give us 2 free wins every year, even when we sucked ass because Dan Snyder was the owner. Now it's not like that no more with Jaden Daniels. But now with Jaden Daniels, that rivalry gets to be reprised. The Eagles and Commies played against each other 3 times in 2024. So we're gonna see some shake. So this is Commies, Ravens, Eagles, and Steelers. So it gives 2 cross-state rivalries because the Steelers and Eagles both play in Pennsylvania, and the Commies and Ravens aren't in the same state, but they're like 2 seconds away from each other. And not only that, this division is loaded because all 4 of these teams were in the playoffs in 2024, with 3 of them even winning a playoff game. This division has 13 Super Bowls and 20 Super Bowl appearances, so this one got quite the history. So now it has the AFC Florida. It has all the teams from Florida, along with the Atlanta Falcons because they're close to Florida. The Jaguars, Buccaneers, and Dolphins, all from Florida, giving us a 3-way crosstown rivalry. And now the Falcons joins The Falcons from up north in Atlanta joins us. The Falcons and Buccaneers keep their division rivalry. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I am a little bit of a casual, so I don't know much about the history of these teams, but I do know this division has in total 4 Super Bowls and 9 appearances. These teams ain't that good. So to finish off the AFC, we have AFC California, which features all the teams from California. The Raiders recently moved from Oakland to Vegas, but they were in Cali very recently, so why not? And Vegas is close, so we'll let them slide. If they were in Oakland, you would have a 4-way crosstown rivalry, since Oakland is right next to San Francisco. So you have the Oakland Raiders, the San Francisco 49ers, and then the Chargers and Rams are both from LA. So you got 2 crosstown rivalries, and they're all in the same state. Everybody's in the same goddamn state of California. Additionally, we got division rivalry staying, since the Niners and Rams play in the same division, and the Raiders and Chargers play in the same division, so they get to keep their division rivalries. So this is actually perfect for crosstown rivalries, and it will be a fun division to watch. In total, they have 10 Super Bowls with 19 appearances. Now we're getting back into the NFC. The NFC gets a little more miscellaneous. They're not based on states, they're based on quite a few more factors. So first we have the NFC Unhabitable. This includes the Packers, Lions, Bears, and Vikings. This is just the NFC North. We're keeping the NFC North together because they are geographically pretty well aligned, and they just have some iconic rivalries. Additionally, with the NFC North, we're calling them the NFC Unhabitable because the weather in all 4 of these cities, Milwaukee, Detroit, Chicago, and Minnesota, suck. These have terrible weather, these cities. We just kept the NFC North together. The NFC North has 5 Super Bowls and 11 appearances. Next to the NFC, I have the NFC Yeehaw. These teams are all from areas that just has hella Cowboys, Bears, trucks, country music, and Trump supporters. So we got the Dallas Cowboys, the Houston Texans, the Tennessee Titans, and the New Orleans Saints. All Cowboys and Trump supporters over here. The Texans and Titans keep their rivalry from the AFC South, and the Dallas does lose their Philly rivalry. That does suck. But the thing is, everybody hates Dallas, so no matter what division they go into, it's gonna be hella rivalries. They're just gonna start one with one of these teams. Actually, this division would have been, I don't know much about the Cowboys in the late 2010s. It was probably like mid, but I know they had Dak Prescott and Zeke. But in the late 2010s, this division would have been fire. That's when the Texans had Diddy Watson, but before he started touching people. The Tennessee Titans had Derrick Henry playing out of his mind, and then the New Orleans Saints, they almost won the Super Bowl in calendar year 2019, or almost made it there, but you know that holding call against the Rams. That's when they had Drew Brees, Michael Thomas, and Alvin Kamara. So this division would have been nice back then in the late 2010s. This division has 6 Super Bowls, 9 appearances. Next, I have the NFC Central. This includes the Browns, Colts, Chiefs, and Bengals. Now, I'm not gonna lie, these are just the 4 teams I couldn't fit into any other division, so they all end up here. But they actually are pretty close to each other, so it worked. The Browns and Bengals keep their division rivalry from the AFC North, and Pat Mahomes and Joe Burrow are now in the same division, which means things are gonna get spicy. This division has 6 bowls and 14 appearances. Cap it all off, I have the NFC Animals. These are also teams I couldn't find divisions for, but I noticed they all had animals on the logo, so they can be grouped together based on that. We have the Seahawks and Cardinals keeping their rivalry from the NFC West. Joining them will be the Broncos and Panthers. Now, one thing I do have to say is, imagine how crazy this NFC Animals division would have been in the year 2015. So you have the Boom Boom Pow Seahawks. They're coming fresh off a Super Bowl appearance. This is when the Legion of Boom was the scariest shit ever. This is the same year that Cam Newton went 15-1 and won MVP and led his team to the Super Bowl. This is the same year the Denver Broncos won that Super Bowl against Cam Newton. And then this is the same year where Carson Palmer and Larry Fitz went 13-3 with the Cardinals, made it to the conference finals, and Carson Palmer was second in MVP voting. This would have been a crazy division in 2015. That could have been the greatest division of all time. I don't know much about NFL history before like 2012 or so. So I don't know how true that take is, but I got one question for y'all. Using these divisions, if any of y'all could find the actual greatest division of all time, that would be greatly appreciated, but I think it'll be the 2015 NFC Animals. This NFC Animals has 4 Super Bowls and 14 appearances. Granted, a few of them are against each other. Now, looking at the map for this one, it actually looks decent besides Carolina over there, but it's all good. Most of the teams are relatively close to each other. Now that's enough for the cool and spicy and fun divisions. Now it's for the geographically correct ones. Now, one thing I noticed is that the AFC scrambles quite a bit here. The AFC changes quite a bit, but the NFC stays for the most part the same. So in the AFC East, we abandoned the Bills and Dolphins. The Ravens and Steelers are going to come in. So that gives us the Ravens, Steelers, Jets, and Pats. This gives us a historically division, as the Pats and Steelers both have 6 rings. And this division has 15 championships and 22 appearances in total. Another thing I gotta say is that in the early 2010s, this division would have been so fun to watch, because that's when the Steelers made the Super Bowl in calendar year 2011, right? They made it in 09 and shit like that too. They had Rapisburger, they was going off, and they was playing the Ravens a lot when they had Ray Lewis and Joe Flacco in the conference finals. And the Patriots also had a little bit of taste in the sugar. The Patriots played the Ravens in the conference finals in calendar year 2012 and 13, if I'm not mistaken. There was just so much beef between these 3 teams in the entire 2010s. Even like stretching out later to the 2010s, you get Patriots versus Steelers 2017 conference finals before the Falcons Super Bowl. You get in the 2019 season, the Patriots was 8-0 until Lamar Jackson and the Ravens beat them. This would be a very interesting division. And then the New York Jets just suck. But even then, the New York Jets had 2 conference finals appearances in 2010 and 2011. So this, in the early 2010s, this would have been crazy, bro. Oh, also, you might be noticing that I'm calling them conference finals instead of AFC championship games. It's just that conference finals is shorter to say, and also I originated as an NBA fan, so I'm just bringing some NBA lingo. So now we got the AFC North. This is the same thing as the NFC Central division I showed you. It's the Chiefs, Bengals, Browns, and Colts. You know, we keep the Bengals and Browns rivalry, and the Chiefs and Bengals is what I'm excited for. Joe Burrow and Lord Mahomo in the same division, bro. So for the AFC South, we get rid of the Colts, and now the Miami Dolphins come in. So it's the same thing except with the Dolphins instead of Colts. The Texans, the Dolphins, the Jaguars, and the Titans. This division sucks. And then in the AFC West, it's the same thing as the AFC West, except instead of the Chiefs, you get the Cowboys. So they leave one annoying ass team and another annoying ass team comes in. So going on for the NFC, I'm not gonna lie, the NFC North, NFC South, and NFC West are all exactly the same. I did not change them. I did not touch those divisions. The NFC East, however, the Cowboys are out, the Buffalo Bills are in, which actually leads to a pretty talented division with Josh Allen, the Buffalo Bills, who was just in the conference finals this year. The Eagles and Commies played each other in conference finals in 2025 as well, and the Giants suck. I would know, but this leads to a pretty talented division that would have gave us a very entertaining 2024. Looking at all these divisions, when the Buffalo Bills lost all those Super Bowls in the 1990s, there was only to NFC East teams. Even though the Cowboys was one of them and I don't got them here, they lost to the Cowboys, Commies, and Giants. This is time to get some revenge, bro. Now looking at the map for this one, it's kind of ugly. The divisions kind of yin yang with each other, but they're not super duper far from each other, so I guess it's all good. I did take into account division rivalries. I wanted to keep the division rivalries together. So, and also the NFL likes to keep teams from the same state separate, so I was trying to do that as well. But at least the North looks good. So this is the division I drew directly just from map location. Disregard all history of the team. It's nice and pretty. No crossing borders and all that. The NFC East in this universe has the Giants, Jets, Eagles, and Pats, which I like. Everybody hates each other. Everybody hates somebody in this division. That's bad funny. Everybody hates somebody here. The AFC East keeps the Ravens and Steelers together, but now we're adding the Commies and Bills. The Ravens and Bills don't like that much each other due to Josh and Lamar. And then the Commies are a new up-and-coming team. NFC North swaps out the Lions for the Chiefs. And now it's still as toxic as ever. We just got Lord Mahomes, the most toxic NFL player. It's going to be cinema. You got the AFC North. You got Joe Burrow versus Detroit will be fun, but the other 2 teams aren't that good. And imagine if I remove the Lions and put the Bears in. That would be like Joe Burrow just wins this division every year. The NFC South keeps the Bucks and Panthers together, and Jacksonville and Miami are added. This has all the Florida teams in it. The AFC South keeps the Saints and Falcons together, and it also keeps the Titans and Texans together. In the NFC West, it's nearly the same, except instead of the Cardinals, we have the Chargers, adding some crosstown heat between the Rams and Chargers. And in the AFC West, the Raiders and Broncos keep their rivalry from the AFC West, but now the Cowboys and Cardinals come in. So that's all 3 of my division realignments. But join my Discord server. It's called Me Gang right now, but I'm gonna change the name to Billionaire Halos Club as I'm moving the Me character stuff, all the Me community stuff to a new server. Listen to I Am the Creator, my new single.